October, the month where shadows feel alive, when even the most ordinary places hide something waiting to be found. Tonight, I'll share with you 3 true stories that happened in this haunting month. Real people, real fear, and real horror. So dim the lights, and always remember, stories may sound the same, but not when I tell them. October 2016. The air smelled like plastic masks and fake cobwebs, and every shelf in Party City looked like a tornado had hit it. I was 21, doing night shifts after class to make some extra money. Halloween season meant chaos, screaming kids, impatient parents, candy everywhere. But once the doors locked at 11, silence. That night, the store felt emptier than usual. Just 4 of us left. Maria on the register, Kyle restocking shelves, Ashley, the night supervisor, and me, the unlucky one assigned to the basement runs. After 10 p.m., the speakers stopped playing Halloween hits, and all you could hear was the flicker of old fluorescent lights and the squeak of the cart I pushed down each aisle. When I turned toward the basement door, a cool draft crawled up my arms. The sign above it buzzed with a dying red glow. Employees only. I flipped the light switch. Yellow light poured down the narrow stairwell like syrup, slow and heavy. I remember thinking, why does it always feel colder down there? But I told myself the same thing I always did. It's just the air vents, nothing weird. And I started down the stairs. The basement was circular, walls lined with shelves stacked to the ceiling. Boxes labeled adult costumes, kids' accessories, props. The air smelled like dust and cardboard. I'd been up and down those steps all week, but that night something felt off. The lights buzzed faintly, and one bulb kept dimming in and out like it couldn't make up its mind. I bent to lift a box of girls' costumes when something clattered behind the center shelf. Just a light thud, but enough to freeze me mid-motion. "Kyle?" I called out, half laughing. No answer. I placed the box down, slowly peeking around the shelf's edge. That's when I saw it. Someone standing on the opposite side of the room. A tall figure in a white hooded robe, wearing a twisted monster mask. I actually chuckled at first, thought it was a joke. "Nice try, Ashley, you got me." The figure tilted its head, slow and deliberate. No words, no laugh. I stepped closer, but it stepped back. And that's when I saw the boots. Dirty, heavy work boots, caked in mud. Kyle didn't own boots like that. My stomach turned to ice. I froze. Every instinct screamed run, but curiosity won for a second. I laughed again, pretending not to care. "All right, funny guy, who are you?" The figure didn't move. It just kept tilting its head like a broken puppet. Then, one step forward, heavy, deliberate. The mask caught the light, rubber skin stretched into a smile that wasn't human. "Ashley?" I whispered again, even though I knew it wasn't her. The silence became unbearable. I backed up slowly, never taking my eyes off the thing. When I blinked, it was gone. Just gone. I dropped the box and bolted upstairs,
heart pounding loud enough to drown out the creaking steps.
I slammed the basement door and walked fast, too scared to run, too proud to show it. Ashley was by the register, talking to Maria. I rushed over. "Where's Kyle?" I blurted out. Kyle's voice called from an aisle. "Right here." That cold, sinking feeling hit me hard. Whoever was down there wasn't one of us. I told Ashley what I saw, the mask, the robe, the boots. She frowned, half believing me, but willing to check. Kyle joined us, and the three of us went back down. The stairs groaned under our steps. My flashlight beam shook across the shelves. But the basement was empty. Just boxes, dust, silence. The back exit door upstairs stood wide open, curtain fluttering from the cold breeze. Whoever it was, he was gone. Or hiding.
An hour passed. Ashley told me to finish bringing boxes up so we could close. I didn't want to, but I had to. Job's a job. I grabbed the last box and started up the stairs when I heard it again. That faint rustle. Plastic crumpling. My heart pounded in my ears. I told myself, it's just a bag shifting, nothing more. I turned to switch off the basement light and froze. At the bottom of the stairs stood the same white-robed figure. No mask this time, just a man, smiling. His teeth were yellow, his eyes locked on mine. That smile widened as he whispered something I couldn't hear. I slammed the door so hard the frame rattled. I screamed, "He's back!" running to Ashley. We rushed together to the basement door, but it was wide open again. The back exit door swung slowly in the night wind. He was gone. Completely gone.
Police showed up 20 minutes later. No sign of forced entry, no footprints, no missing stock, nothing. Just an open door and an employee shaking too hard to finish his shift. I quit a week later. Couldn't even drive past that store again without feeling my chest tighten. Sometimes I wonder if it was just a Halloween prank gone too far, or if he'd been hiding down there long before that night. Either way, I still can't stand the smell of rubber masks. And October, my favorite month, hasn't felt the same since.
It was late October, the kind of afternoon when the air smelled like wood smoke and apples. I'd been seeing a girl named Nikki for a few weeks. She loved anything autumn. Pumpkin patches, haunted hay rides, apple cider. I suggested we go apple picking outside town. It was supposed to be an easy drive, half an hour tops. The roads grew quieter the farther we went. Just the crunch of tires over gravel and the rustle of orange leaves chasing our car. We passed one old orchard that looked abandoned. A leaning barn, faded sign, no cars, no people. Nikki joked that it looked haunted. We both laughed, but as we drove away, something about it lingered.
The first orchard we found was closed, a small stand with a "See you next season" sign fluttering in the wind. "Let's just check out the other one," I said. "It's not far." When we pulled up, it was silent. No workers, no cars, only rows of trees stretching into fog.
It looked peaceful, too peaceful. "Maybe they don't mind if we take a few apples," Nikki said with a grin. We hopped a small fence and walked through the tall grass, laughing like we were doing something brave. The air was cool and sweet. Apples still clung to the branches, small and red like ornaments on a forgotten tree.
We wandered deeper, tossing apples into our bags, teasing each other over who found the best ones. The laughter faded when I realized how quiet it had become. Even the wind had stopped. "Nikki?" I called. Her voice answered from somewhere ahead, muffled by the trees. I followed, but each time I thought I was close, her voice seemed to drift farther away. I turned one corner and froze. A young man stood a few rows over, still as the trees. His long dark hair brushed his shoulders. For a second, I thought maybe he worked there, until I noticed the orchard was supposed to be empty. I took a step forward, but the man didn't move. He just watched. My phone rang. It was Nikki. Her voice trembled. "There's someone walking behind me." My pulse spiked. I whispered for her to run back to the car and started moving fast through the rows, apples crunching underfoot. When I reached the clearing, Nikki was already waiting by the car, eyes wide, clutching the keys. "Let's go," I said. She pointed behind me, but when I turned, the trees were still again, just the sound of wind returning as if nothing had happened. We drove until the orchard was a blur behind us. Neither of us spoke for a while. Eventually, we stopped at a roadside fruit stand to calm down. I asked one of the women there about the orchard. She gave me a strange look. "You shouldn't go near that place," she said softly. "The family who owned it moved away years ago. Something bad happened there. I didn't ask what." We thanked her, got in the car, and drove home in silence. Every October since, whenever I see apple trees, I think about that afternoon and the quiet figure who never took a single step toward us, but somehow followed us anyway, in memory. October always feels special. The air sharper, the nights longer. But when the world starts dressing itself in shadows, that's when the real stories come out. So next time you find yourself alone at night, whether it's under street lights, in the basement, or between the trees, remember, some things don't wait for Halloween to appear. If you made it this far, make sure you leave the light on tonight. And always remember, stories may sound the same, but not when I tell them.